Welcome, everybody. Come on in. Let's go. Come on in. Welcome back to the 80s. Come on in, everyone. Yeah, I know. I was just telling him I was in the 80s. We wore clothes.
I was not dressed in the 80s because I wasn't born. So
What?
there's that. No, I wasn't.
That's not fair.
I'm sorry.
That's not fair.
I'm 5 years younger than Oley.
Well, there you go.
No, that's a lie. I'm more than 5 years younger than Oley. Wherever you're
towards
comfortable.
the front, Dr. Howard. Come on down, just because we'll welcome you up in about
Come
10
in,
or
friends.
about 15
Come
minutes.
in.
Come on, everybody in the hallway. Grab your food and come on in. The festivities are about to begin. Welcome. You may need to go out there with the mic.
Right? I might have to. I'm going to go out here.
Maybe go out there with
All
the
right,
mic.
I'll go out here. We'll see what happens. Oh, my.
Yeah, right to her. Yeah. For those joining virtually, welcome. We're trying to gather people in. They're so busy talking to each other that they're not wanting to come in to stop talking. Isn't that fun?
Oh,
so welcome to the virtual audience. We're so glad to have you here. We're sorry you couldn't join us in person, but we're glad we could invite you this way. Come on in.
Joan's coming, everybody. Here she comes.
Come on in.
I am. Come on in, everybody. Grab your food, grab your caffeine, grab your whatevers, and let's roll. Come on in.
Thanks, Roy, for calling them in from outside. I know, we just get them to talking, and then we tell them to stop talking.
It's mildly like herding sheep.
Yeah.
There's food, there's drinks.
It's more like
It's
cats.
like college outside.
Isn't it more like herding cats? Welcome, everyone.
I feel like we're so used to Zoom where like we just kind of show up and everything's next to us. We're making them go outside and get their food and then bring it in.
But at least we're wearing pants.
That's true. Well, I mean, sort of, I guess. Spandex shoes.
Ish.
Oh, my.
They're still not coming in. Well, welcome to those who've already made it into the room. Everyone else, grab your stuff and come on in. We'll have some more time for a mix and mingle. You can also get up and get food as you need to, but we're about to start the program. Thanks. Yeah.
It's okay.
You're good. Is Joan waiting for something?
Joan's, I don't know. She's just waving at everybody.
Oh, there she is.
Hi.
Hi, Joan.
How are you? It's good to see you. You look good. It's nice to see you in person.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's because the camera adds 10 pounds, and that's why I hate Zoom. Thank you.
Welcome, everyone. We're about to start the program. So I would say welcome. I am Beth Gore. I'm the new executive director for the Oley Foundation. And on behalf of the staff and the board, we are so thrilled to have you to come to Oley 2023. Welcome. I do want to say that there are quite a few travel woes for people. So you'll see people that are coming, people that are late, people that are coming overnight, and some adjustments even to the schedule because some people haven't made it yet, and we're hoping that they do. So we're just going to roll with it. The travel things could change a few things quite a bit. We have so much to celebrate this year. We are back to the 80s. As you can see, we're back to 1983. February the 2nd, 1983 is when the documents were officially signed to create Oley 40 years ago.
Why are you looking at me when you say 40? I'm not 40.
I know, he's not 40.
Don't look at me.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Yes, that's amazing. Clap
I know.
for that. That's
so
fantastic.
40 years. We're going to celebrate, continue to celebrate that this whole year. We are also celebrating that we have not been able to be together in 3 years, and we are back together in person. And I think that also deserves a round of applause because we have not been able to gather. And I don't know about you, but something about getting together, not just Zoom, is very important. I can tell you, so some of you know me, some of you don't. I'll introduce myself, and then I'm going to introduce my partner over here. I have 6 children. They're all adopted, all with special needs. And my youngest one lives with parental nutrition. He turned 14 yesterday. 14? Yesterday. Wow. Can you believe that? I know. Yeah. And so I'm one of you. This is my lived experience as well. And I came to my first Oley. People had said to us in hushed tones, our doctors had said in hushed tones.
It's always the hushed tones, man. Always.
Life-limiting therapy. Mm-hmm. And you believe it because you have no reason not to believe them, right? And so when we showed up to an Oley, and I met people who had been on therapy for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, I'm like, we're fine, right? And that was my experience, and I had found my people. Now, I'm hoping that you have also found your people. Maybe you're brand new. In fact, there are 167 first-time attendees registered this year. Can we give them a round of applause? Yes. In fact, if you are a first-time attendee, raise your hand like this real quick. Everybody raise your hand if you're a first-time attendee. Welcome. We hope that you feel wanted, welcome, and part of a tribe, because I don't know about you, I have a lot of people in my life, but there's something about not having to explain any of these things. Yep. I don't have to explain. You'll experience it probably while you're here, is somebody's pump will beep and they all turn around to see if it's them, right? One of my experiences was in Orlando at the SeaWorld. Was anybody else there at that one? Do you guys remember the SeaWorld Renaissance? Do you remember when the power went off that night?
Yes.
That was fun. So I walked out into the atrium, and all I could hear was the cacophony of all the different pumps beeping through the night because electricity went off for the hotel. That was fun. It eventually came back on. But I was trying to figure out, because my son's a wheelchair user, and we were up on the 7th floor, and I'm thinking, I'm not sure how I'm going to get him down in the morning, I'm supposed to give the speech at 8 a.m., and they'll all be late, and they were. But that's okay, right? So we have 444 people registered this year. It's amazing. Isn't that crazy? And not everybody's going to make it, like I said, because a few little travel bumps. But that's the thing, is we've learned how to roll with the punches over the years, right? I triage my problems, and you can only do what you can do, right? So we hope that you enjoy yourselves. We'll come up here, we'll do a little bit of a program, we'll do some time for mix and matching and some food and some fellowship, and then we're going to also
did you just say mix and matching?
I know.
What
Not
matching?
swipe left and right.
Gotcha, okay.
That's different.
Right.
That's different.
So awkward. I love it.
So I just want to say thank you so much for being here. We're going to celebrate so much tonight. We also want to say thank you to one of our sponsors. Tonight is partly sponsored by Zealand. So thank you so much for the generous contribution towards that. Thank you very much. Yes, we could put that on. And I'm going to turn this over to the lovely, the wonderful, and you can tell them who you are.
Hi, I'm Roy. I look like a highlighter. I have been coming to Oley since I was 6 years old. Many of you remember me as the little kid under the live auction table that would take the items from you if you went and signed them. I will still do that. I'm just older, so there you go. You've been warned. It's really true what Beth said. It's one of the greatest places to come to find your tribe, to find your people. This is coffee. This is now, as you get older, for those of you that are turning 21, this is now coffee. This is your 30s. So you'll hold this like you hold any other drink. So it's really beautiful to be here after 3 years all together. Oley is really one of those places where you find your people. And like Beth said, you don't have to explain. You can go to a swimming pool and you can have your tubing hanging out. You can do whatever you need to do, and nobody really asks any questions. So for those of you that are new, this is home, this is family, and I'm really excited. If you miss a conference, you will still be in the conference. You'll still find your people with social media, with texting, with FaceTiming, with all the things that the teenagers are doing these days, and I don't know, TikToking. We do need to get Joan on TikTok, so Julie, that's up to you.
We'll work on it.
You got it. But thank you all for being here. We're gonna make some jokes, or at least attempt, and honor some people and give away some awards. There's a lovely step and repeat-ish over there that we want you to get your pictures taken in front of. There'll be 80s music, there'll be 80s facts. I don't know many of them because I was born at the end. Yes, one person's excited. I love it.
Stop rubbing that in.
I'm sorry. I was born at the end of the 80s, so I don't remember much, which is why I look like a highlighter, which nobody looked like in the 80s. So, cheers. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, I was saying is I was in the 80s, and we wore clothes. This is not what I wore. I have pictures of proof, but we're so excited. So we're going to move next to, we want to celebrate some of the history. A lot of, especially if so many of you are first timers, you don't know some of the history of Oley. And so we're just about to welcome them up. So if you would introduce our speakers today.
Oh my gosh, who am I introducing? I didn't read this correctly. Oh, sorry. Oh, this is fun. I get to introduce two people that are super special to me. That one of them saved my life, and one of them also saved my life for a different reason. Dr. Lynn Howard is here today, who is the founder of Oley. Yes, please. There was a little boy born in upstate New York that the doctor said didn't have a lot of hope, and my mother looked up, well, it's me, sorry, that was a terrible lead-in. My mother looked up a doctor in Albany, New York, Albany Med, and in we went with no idea what was going to happen, and the woman just started writing scripts and TPN orders, which we didn't know what that was, and 34 and a half years later, here I am. So hi, welcome.
I don't think you've changed.
And then of course we have Queen Joan. Joan is the Executive Director Emeritus, is that the right term? I can't read.
Yes.
Is that right? Was that right? Okay, got my notes this morning, so we're trying to read here. And for those of you that don't know Joan, Joan has kept this program running for many, 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 many.
How many?
40. 39. And also, I just want to say, Joan also managed to figure out, with the help of the Oley team as well, how to put this program up on Zoom and on, wow, that was weird, coffee, terrible, on Zoom, on YouTube, when we were not able to be together. So I'm going to turn it over to them. They're going to tell you the history. I'm going to walk away, and I'm going to cry in a corner because I'm so happy for both of them. You want to use this one?
I don't care.
Okay, live your best
I don't
life.
care. Okay. All right, I'm going to share with a little funny story about Roy. When he was 6 or 8, whenever his mother shooed him out of the room so she could fluff, he would find me and chase me around the conference venue because he wanted to know what the kids' activities were. And I would never tell him, as annoying as he was, I would never tell him what the kids' activities were because they depended on the weather. So one morning he decided to propose to me. He asked me to marry him because he thought that would give him the inside scoop.
It didn't. It did not work.
It didn't, I know it didn't work.
20-something years later, I'm still trying to figure it out.
I know, well, don't waste your time. But we loved Roy, honestly. He was as sweet then as he is now. So we're going to start. We put together some slides to walk you through the history, and we'll stop every once in a while and ask for volunteers to come up and really maybe share a story or two in that time frame. So if we could have the slides and a visor here, that'd be good.
Hey, Joan, there's a clicker on the podium.
Oh, clicker. There we go. I got to do this myself. Okay. Oley began in 1983. The charter was signed with co-founders Lynn Howard, that's you, and her patient Clarence Oley Oldenburg. And the original seed money was donated by Clarence's brother, Bill Oldenburg. So that's how it all began. The beginning. The check is in Clarence's hand. And that's how it all began in San Francisco in an office building somewhere, right? So, right?
Right.
Good. Do you have anything to share about that?
No, just the lady dropped coffee all over us.
Oh. So we got a check and she had coffee spilled on her at the same time. So that's exciting and that's a memory. So here we have a picture of Lenore Heafy. She's on the right. And Lenore was the first executive director of Oley. And we give her a lot of credit for all the work that was involved to start a foundation with the paperwork, the bylaws, just about everything. And standing next to her was one of Dr. Howard's patients, Woody Freese, who was volunteer extraordinaire. Everywhere you looked, he was there helping, and he later became one of our board members. Quite a character, fun to be around. Oh, and you know, Dr. Howard chose this photo. I'm not sure why. I really want to look like that again, but that's Woody and myself in the 80s. So I didn't wear the garb. That's what I wore in the 80s. So there you have it. So our first gathering was local, and it was a picnic. About 40 people responded, and we planned the picnic based on what we saw in the waiting room for clinic day for the HPN people. And we saw they were bringing refreshments to the clinic area. It could be one of two things. Maybe, Lynn, you made them wait forever, or they just enjoyed being together. And it really was. They looked forward to clinic. So we were really pleased, but for people who have been to future picnics, you know it wasn't cooked to order. It's like massively produced. And that fast forward, there's people enjoying a picnic, and we don't have a year to that, but there's another glimpse of an Oley picnic, a lot more than 40 people. And everyone seemed to cluster together because the conversations were so important, life-altering, and fun was had every single year. And there, I'm not sure why Lynn Howard picked this photo of me, but and that's Lenore Heafy. But she chose it, and I'm willing to go with it. Do you know why?
No, I have no idea.
Okay, well, there it is. You chose it. And it could be that I was giving her the rules for all of the games we played at the picnic. And I'll tell you, Lynn Howard strove to win. She had to win every single game. How did you win, Lynn?
Cheating.
She cheated. She cheated. Look at how proud she is there to win. And other people lost because of this. Okay. So here's another example. We were in Florida, and we had an activity was build a boat. And then we closed the pool down, and we were having timed races across the pool. Well, Dr. Howard's team comes up with an idea to tape cardboard around one of our members, HBN consumer, and float her in the boat across the pool. Now, remember, Lynn Howard wants to win. That doesn't look like a winning ship. There is the boat going across the pool. Dr. Howard said, oh my gosh, this boat's gonna need a motor. She dives in, and another company, a vendor, he said, well, 2 motors are better than 1. They're trying to win at all odds. I thought, we need risk management in place from here on in. But anyway, it was fun. You didn't win, did you?
No.
No. Okay, but she's such a good sport. This is Lynn, or maybe that isn't actually Lynn, but Lynn was volunteered to be dunked to raise money for Oley. Now that's hard. And I'll tell you, when she got up on that chair, we sold softballs. I mean, they were lined up to dunk you. Do you know why?
I don't know. No.
Would you do it again?
You got a huge rash on your bottom when you went. It wasn't worth it.
What does that mean? Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, but a good sport. And there you are. You do have a serious side. Now, what are you doing there? Hosting a round table.
Yes.
Yeah. And it wasn't all about fun and games. This woman has more knowledge than anyone else, honestly. And if she didn't have the answer to a problem or an issue, she knew who did. So we'll move on. Okay. And we brought together from the early days really good, strong medical expertise. We have Darlene Kelly, Dr. Darlene Kelly, the late Dr. Darlene Kelly, I'm very sad to say. We have Dr. Jane Ballant. We have Reed Nishikawa. We had Kishore Iyer. And I have to apologize, I do not know who was the last, the woman there. Any volunteers, anyone recognize? Anyway, but she had to be a great contributor. And this is, I think, the shy side of Dr. Howard that we don't see very often. Can you do that again? The like, kind of like a shy.
Well, the point was that Woody always told very big stories. So,
So you think he was telling a story about you?
no, I think he was just talking about all the things.
He looks pretty excited, but. And this little guy.
I did not know this was happening. I did not sanction this, but I look pretty cute. Carry on.
Do you want to talk about it, right?
Well, I can remember Roy when he was about this size, and he was a problem then. So, I don't think things have got any better.
But
Pass.
his talent.
What have you done with your mother?
Nothing? She's at home. She's traveling somewhere. I don't know where she is. She's traveling somewhere. She still loves me. It's okay.
She was an ICU nurse, and she was terrific.
Yep. And I have to say, Roy is pretty talented at the piano. So I don't know if we have a piano here at the Hyatt.
I don't think so.
Okay, yeah.
But you'll hear it soon.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
It's behind one of the videos, so you'll hear it.
Okay, all right. And here's another example. There is Roy's mother, Madeline, in the red back row.
Yes.
And just wonderful, wonderful bringing Roy out and experiencing just living life. Yep.
Well, I'd say one more thing about your mom, and that was she was very good at letting go. So life is never easy when you're trying to take a kid through adolescence, et cetera, and they have a big issue. And I think she did a terrific job of standing back. Yeah. So now you're a clown.
Making her proud.
Making her proud, for sure. Okay, and we couldn't celebrate 40 years without recognizing Rosalind Dahl, who many of you have met at former conferences, and her great work in keeping Oley financially strong, and we wish her well in her retirement. And this I thought was interesting because now we have Oley ambassadors, we used to have regional coordinators, and this is how many regional coordinators came to a meeting early on. And I think that's a great group of people. The regional coordinators were the heart and soul of Oley, the faces out in the community. And now the Oley ambassadors are following in their footsteps. So that's a nice representation that year. And Lynn, this is another photo. I just can't explain it.
You look pretty terrible.
I know. Is that why you chose it? My mouth is open. I look like I'm in tears. But I do want to mention that the man on the right, the woman on the man on the left, Patty on the right, they were married. They were based in Southern California, and every meeting we held out on the West Coast, was supported by that couple and their 4 kids to the degree I just can't explain. So, a lot of gratitude to them. And Ellie, next to me, worked for Oley, and she had a marketing degree, and we were very sad to see her go, but she just moved on. And there's another one from Lynn. You really have to explain one of these, just one. I did the rest.
I don't know.
She doesn't know.
No.
It's good of you. It's a good picture of you. I look like a soldier.
Or pregnant.
Or pregnant. Wait, watch yourself. Okay, this is yours.
Well, the person who's on the man with glasses, he actually started the collection of data about outcome, Maurice Chills. And Maurice got a group of physicians, of which I was one, and brought us all together, about 12 of us, and said, you know, we really should start publishing what's happening to the outcome of people living long-term on the parental nutrition. And so it was principally at that point the clinicians that he pulled together, but later on he ran the program in New York, and eventually he came to Oley when he was 80. That was probably 10 years ago now, and gave a terrific talk, and eventually he died. But he was always pushing the agenda very well. Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Okay. Okay, now another story from a past conference was I got a call from a mother, Rose Holly, that said, we have a problem, Joan. We always come to the conference. However, Alicia's graduation date is on the same day as the conference, the start of the conference. And I said, well, ask Alicia if she would like us to graduate her at the Oley meeting. And she said yes, so problem solved. And at the end of a morning session, oh, this doesn't work. Oh, no, how do you get back? This group of Alicia's Oley friends escorted her down the aisle, and we graduated her as a group. And there wasn't a dry eye in the session room. So look at just what a thrilling day for everyone. But it's an example of having taken a problem, solved it for the good of Oley members.
I think this also goes to show, too, that we were all teenagers at this time, and we all are now adults and still keep in touch and still call each other, still check in on each other, and if we're ever in the hospital or sick, we all kind of keep tabs on each other. So it really goes to show how much of a family you guys that are new are entering into, but those that have been here, you can speak to that.
Yeah, and really, as I recall, it was one of Alicia's remarks to her mother, you know, the Oley members are my family. That's where I want to be when I graduate. So that was going on back then. Okay.
I see, I've got to fill in the gap. Well, this was, we've sometimes gathered around events that allow for exercise. And our chairman at that point came with his, he was an enteral feeding patient, and he came with his bottle and demonstrating how the tube goes into him, and we walked through what city?
Oh, that was, I forget.
Anybody else remember? Yeah.
Here it is.
What?
Here it is. That was our past president, Rick Davis, and he decided to add a little pizzazz to the walk by cutting off his shirt, showing his tube. He's holding his formula bottle, and he was leading the walk until he got bypassed by Roy's mother. Yeah. So it was, it just added a spark to the walk. And carrying on for the next 40 years, this is your team, minus what's her name over there. So, because I was tired, now I'm retired. So, the hands, you're in good hands moving forward.
Maybe you should introduce everybody.
Yes. Oh, should I introduce everybody?
Yeah.
Okay, we have Beth Gore here.
Yay, everybody.
Okay. We have Andrea Taylor here. Oh. We have Lisa Metzger here. We have Kathy Harrington.
Where's Kathy?
Where is Kathy? Oh, there she is. Yes.
Mary.
Mary is where? She's in.
Mary's around.
She's there. Mary.
We don't see her in here.
Okay. Well, we'll introduce her when she comes in.
And where's Maisie?
Oh, Maisie.
We'll find them.
Should be able to find them, and they're all in hot pink and black and green.
How embarrassing. We all showed up in the same thing. Nobody knew that we were going to do that, right? Yeah. Well, first of all, thanks to Joan and Dr. Howard for going through some little bit of the history today. We really appreciate that. And you may be seated, Dr. Howard. Joan, you have to stay. She doesn't know about this part. Do you need some help down, Dr. Howard? All righty. Well, thank you so much. Come on up, Roy. You can do this too. So what we're going to do is you're going to have some, we have some opportunity. We want to invite other people to say things about Oley or also about Joan, because Joan is retiring after many years, right? But Joan is Executive Director Emeritus. This is a title that she will have in infinity. Like, this is something forever. She is going to continue to do some things. She'll show up. She's going to continue to mentor me in the things that I don't know, some of these histories, and she's passing those on and so forth. So we're wanting to honor her today in a very powerful way. So we've got several different things planned, and she doesn't know about them. So help me to do that today. Before we do that, though, really quickly, I just want to say thank you to our amazing staff. We are the equivalent of about 4 people, between like part-timers and so forth. We are the equivalent of 4 full-time, and so there's a lot of stuff that we do. So thank you to my staff. I also want to say thank you to the board. We have an amazing board of trustees. I served on that board as well, and several are already here in the room, and I would like to introduce them at some point, but we'll do that in a little bit. I also want to say that there's a couple that are still on their way. So our president was supposed to be here tonight, and she's en route. Hopefully she'll be here by morning. Our vice president is en route, and she was supposed to be here tonight. And then one of our board members, John Mahalchek, was here this morning and spiked 105 fever and had to be direct admitted. I got word that he got safely to the ER, and he's there. So this is life and death, and that's what we realize this. I think a lot of times the clinicians and the exhibitors, they don't necessarily, I think they think about it, but it's a little ancillary sometimes. And this is real life. So our board is full of clinicians and caregivers and consumers or patients, just like you guys are. So we will thank them a little bit. We also want to say thank you to all the sponsors. We can attend for free because they are so generous. That's what we do. We want to keep this as, our life is very expensive already. Therapies are not covered, all the access. We can talk about that another time, but it is very, very difficult lifestyle, right? And so already to travel here, already to get some food, already to stay here and so forth is expensive enough that we don't think we should add any more. And so generous people donate. and corporate sponsors. So we want you to be able to go to the exhibit hall tomorrow and go in there and talk to them and thank them for being here and ask them questions and give them feedback. Do it kindly. And just interact, because a lot of times they don't necessarily get the opportunity to see real patients and talk to them one-on-one. It's often through clinicians instead. So I just want to say thank you to all of them. But first of all, I want to say thank you to Joan. Thank you for all the years that you have donated your heart and your soul and your time and your energy and your loyalty to this company. I thank you how good of a steward that you have been of the finances, of the people, of the heart, of the integrity of this company. This nonprofit organization, there are so many people that don't have a clue how many things that this woman has done behind the scenes. And I could not thank her enough. Just personally, thank you, Joan, for all the things that you have done, and thank you for being my mentor, and thank you for being a part of my life. Thank you for being a part of our family forever. So thank you.
And thank you, Beth, for taking over and promising to do twice as much as I did.
Wait a minute. I'd like to unretire Joan Bishop. Just kidding.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. I think we have a little bit of a tribute that we're going to show in a little bit here, but we also want to be able to say, does anybody here, and we're going to walk around with the microphones, if there's anybody that wants to say anything about Joan, about Oley. And we won't go on for a long time, but if you have something that you want to say to thank either Oley or to thank Joan specifically, you can raise your hand and we'll come around and do so.
Yeah, so the Oley Foundation honestly saved my life back in 2013. And Joan, you were there, one of the first people I met at my first conference. So really hope that you have a great time moving on. But don't forget your Oley family.
I would never forget my Oley family. And honestly, Tiffany, it's people like you, people like all of you that inspired me to work harder and just break those barriers, the boundaries, and just do more and more and more. I personally don't know how I'll fill my days moving forward, but
I have ideas.
Joan, back here in the other way, Bob Smithers in
Other
the
way.
back.
Oh,
I just want to say that I still think that Terry and I won the boat contest in St. Petersburg.
Do you want a rematch? Is that what you're saying?
okay, we can't do it here, we don't have a pool.
Joan, Mariah and I love you more than we can say. You put up with her on her first trip to camp to Hole in the Wall. And thanks to you, I'm on my second set of Pomeranians because Mariah said, before I come home from camp, you must have a Pomeranian.
Oh, you're welcome.
And so I did. I have a Pomeranian. Thank you. We love you.
Oh, love you too. And I used to be a stopping point, overnight point for people going to camp. They'd fly into Albany, stay with me because they had to be to camp at 10 o'clock. They couldn't fly in that day and get to camp late. They had to be there at 10 o'clock. And I remember Tim, I picked Tim up one day, took him to the airport. We were talking about Facebook. I said, Tim, you know, people ask me to be friends. I don't think I have a page. And all he did was sit on my computer and tell me, oh, you have a page. That was it. But honestly, it's one of the thrills that I had, getting to know the kids.
Joan, this is Lynn Wolfson. I'm back here.
If you say so.
Oh, there you are. Okay. I'm looking into the light. Yeah. Yeah.
I met you at the Digestive Disease National Coalition, and I just want to say that not only has Oley been extremely supportive, but so have you personally. That whenever I've called you, you've always had excellent advice and have always been there for me. And I very much appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate you, Lynn, and all that you do. And I'm kind of humbled by what you're saying, but it was never just Joan. Well, sometimes I'm just Joan, but it's never just Joan. It's the staff behind Joan. So, and that I've appreciated. I've been blessed, really.
Hi, Joan. Can you see me?
No.
You want me to stand on a chair?
Right down the aisle.
I know.
My name is Michael. Joan thinks that she met me when I was 13, but I only look 13. I was actually 17 at the second Oley picnic or Oley conference. And I've always said Joan's kind of like, she's always been, she sets the tone with how welcoming she is, how much she cares about everybody here. And Beth, I know you're going to carry that on, but it's always made it a pleasure and fun, and that's the family atmosphere that Oley's had over the years, is that you've set that. So thank you for everything you've done, and enjoy whatever your retirement turns out to be.
Well, thank you
Hopefully
very
you're
much.
around.
Thank you, Michael. Okay. Oh, I can't see it.
Do we have more?
We're good?
I know that they also, we'll get to you in a second, and then there's a company that actually had something. If you guys want to make your way up here, that's a good time to do that if you're here. Thanks, Roy. We're going to get your workout in today.
I love it.
I guess they're not in here. Alrighty. Well, we'll move on then. So the other thing that we want to do is, we know that some people, we are not asking you to give something that you don't have. I don't want anybody to ever feel uncomfortable, but sometimes people say, I don't know what to do and I would like to give forward and pay some things forward. And so we're just going to give an opportunity for that. No pressure whatsoever on that one, but we just want you to know that there are some, we're receiving funds on Joan's behalf today, and there's some easy ways to do that. There's a Venmo, there's a Square if you see any of the staff, and then also you can donate online. And it'll go in her honor and her name. And so that's an opportunity. Like I said, no pressure to do that, but we just want you to know that there's an opportunity. Sometimes people want to know how to pay it forward. We also have some things that, do you want to talk about the Horizon Society really quickly, about what that's about?
Oh, yes. We started the Horizon Society as a way to take people who have arranged for planned gifts in their will, and we have a ton of members. It's an easy way to give, and Dr. Howard has a life insurance policy where Oley is the beneficiary of $500,000, and she will not get in a rowboat with me. She refuses.
Yeah, I wonder why.
But we're just so grateful, and that's very generous, Dr. Howard. We're just not that we want to see it realized anytime soon.
Yeah, so many people, they want their name to go on, or their people to be remembered and so forth. And so it's just an opportunity for you to, if you want some more information about that, we're happy to provide that. So you guys come on up, and I'll hand you the microphone. So they wanted to honor you too.
Oh,
I think everybody wants to honor you, huh?
oh.
This is on behalf of Optum, Elena and I are here presenting it to you to say thank you for all your years of dedication to patients and families, and we very much appreciate everything you've done.
You are so welcome. You are so welcome. You are so welcome.
Open it?
Yes.
She literally looked at Joan and said, open it.
Well, and Elena made this beautiful bow, so.
Oh, I ripped it. I'm sorry.
That's what it's supposed to do. My scissors are at the booth.
Just want to rip it open.
Can we just,
Yeah, just rip it.
can you say awkward?
I know.
Elena.
I I don't do anything halfway.
Okay.
There we go. You got
There
it.
we go.
The gift is in here, though.
It's not the bow, believe it or not.
It's not the bow.
Oh, my gosh. Oh,
You hold it up.
I don't want to get fingerprints on it.
that's beautiful.
So
Oh,
keep it.
my God, that's beautiful.
So this is a word cloud of 40 with all of the most memorable things for you in your career, so that you can hang in your
All the memories.
all your names, all your memories right here for you.
Yeah. Oh, my God, thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Thanks,
You're
Doc.
very welcome.
Yes, we're going to miss you.
Step on that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Are you coming off this?
Yeah, I want this.
So now we're gonna switch gears and we want to mix and mingle and we want to get to know each other and we want to have some fun and we want to talk and we want to. So some people we can stay in here. You can take some pictures over here along the wall of the 80s. Hope as many people as possible. There's also still some food and some drinks out there. And then in a little bit, we're going to gather everybody back up and we're going to finish our program out in a little bit. So here's the opportunity for everybody to get to know each other, and then we'll go have fun.
Before you go have fun, for those of you that are new, can you raise your hands? For those of you that are returning, look around. No, keep your hands up. Keep your hands up. Look around. Your goal tonight is to meet a new person and welcome them into the family. This is 40 years. Go have fun. Enjoy.
Good job.